What was the point of putting Manon in the group if y'all are just going to constantly mistreat her, disrespect her, and leave her out of things?
What the hell is going on with KATSEYE? Why is my favorite member being treated so poorly? Like, isn't Manon the visual?
Y'all, let's talk about this. Like, I'm so tired of Manon being left out of KATSEYE.
And it's also a pattern. Not the first time, and it's not the second time that fans have had to speculate about Manon that she's okay. What I felt from watching Dream Academy is that someone is benefiting from the hype around Manon and the speculation that happens on the internet whenever something happens to her.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Conscious Bae channel. I'm your host, the Conscious Bae, and as you can see, this is not my typical commentary, but I think it's time that we talk very, very honestly about the Black girl politics at play in the global girl group KATSEYE, specifically surrounding group member Manon. And when I say Black girl politics in this case, I'm referring to the quiet, coded dynamics that often surround Black girls in the spotlight, where they are celebrated in theory, but limited in practice. Now, a little background on the group. KATSEYE is a global girl group composed of 6 members: Daniela, Laura, Manon, Megan, Sophia, and Yunche. KATSEYE was formed through the 2023 Netflix docuseries The Dream Academy, a collaboration between Hybe and Geffen Records. The final lineup was selected through a combination of fan votes, performance evaluations, and executive decisions. They debuted in June 2024 with the single Debut, followed by their breakout hit Touch. Their first EP, Sis, was released later that year, and in April 2025, their single Gnarly earned them their first entry on the Billboard Hot 100, with their second EP, Beautiful Chaos, dropping shortly after that. Now, from the very beginning of the Dream Academy, there were noticeable tensions surrounding Manon. During the docuseries, she faced challenges, missing rehearsals, dealing with sickness.
So, should we start? Okay, so I've heard some things, and I think I'm a little frustrated because I know I've been missing, but I know a lot of other girls also have been missing, and I feel like it's only being taken out on me in a way. And so I wanted to maybe hear you guys out why that might be the case, or if that's even the case, or if I'm not making that up or something.
I really do feel like a lot of our frustration, it's just being present in what this whole program requires, which is a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work and like paying attention and doing your part, like taking notes in class and paying attention to like what's happening in class, even if you are sitting out.
Yeah, but I have been taking notes when I was sitting out.
The thing is, like 2 days ago you were sitting out, and then Sohei literally had to get your attention because you weren't paying attention, like things like that. I know, like,
you try to listen instead of react to what she's saying. Try to just sit and listen.
It's like, it is a skill set thing, but also you can build that. For us, it's reading that you aren't there yet, and we really want to bring you in with us so we can work as a team. But I think you can do it.
That was really sweet of you. This training and this program is really hard.
Yeah.
And I, especially in the beginning, had like a lot of days where I was like, holy shit, I don't know if I can do this. Like, it's a lot because I haven't been training professionally like some of you guys, which I have so much respect for. Like the discipline and everything, it's something I've learned from you guys. Please, like, if you guys see me in class and feel like she's not focused or anything, like, just say something. I'll really appreciate that, I think, because I don't want there to be any misunderstandings or anything like that, I think.
But fellow contestants openly expressed frustration about Manon continuing to receive fan support and favorable treatment despite these setbacks.
The Americans experience what, like, the Slovak would experience all the time. Like, we don't ever get represented, ever. And even the people that are, like, Manon, she's getting so much attention. You know, people are upset because she doesn't put a lot of effort and she doesn't show up for her teams a lot. And so people are upset that she is the person who's getting so much attention. It's not based on anything right now. It's just because she's pretty, and that's true. She is pretty.
Is Manon here?
No, she's not here.
This created an early perception of favoritism that added strain within the competition. And I think it's important to note here that both Manon and fellow member Laura were scouted outside of the competition via social media. So this meant that there was already an unspoken understanding that they might have had spots in the group from the start. And I think that this is very relevant when discussing accountability, especially concerning Hybe and Geffen Records, which I'll explore later. Okay, so after the group did debut, this kind of weird Manon pattern kept happening, showcased in a couple of key moments. So missing entire performances, including the 2024 Mama Awards, which they said it was sickness, and then a recent live stage for the song Gabriella, which they said it was because of a sprained ankle. In the choreography for Touch, there were moments that seemed designed to obscure her presence completely from the video. In the KATSEYE Glossier billboard campaign, Manon was completely covered up in the group promo image, and during a recent Monster High campaign, she was noticeably silenced in a promo where all the girls received dolls, but she was the only one not prominently featured discussing hers. Now, while we can't speak to HYBE's intent with absolute certainty, the consistent pattern of these omissions speak for itself. Patterns don't lie, and when the company wants to, adjustments can be made. We saw this with Laura in their recent song Game Boy. Despite her leg injury, she was still prominently featured in the music video. Now, here's what I think is happening. Within the group, the girls were given roles. Sophia as the leader, Daniela the main dancer, Laura the main vocalist, Megan the lead dancer, Yoonchae a lead dancer, and then Manon the visual. Now, the label probably thought that naming Manon as the visual was a bold and progressive branding move. However, they likely didn't expect her to surpass the other members in desirability, popularity, and relevance. Today, she is arguably the most talked about and controversial member, not because of anything she's done, but because of her role as the visual and the ongoing tensions around her screen time and treatment by the label. Fans and media often discuss her perceived favoritism and the complex dynamics of HYBE and how they manage the presence of a black member. But let's be clear, this isn't about Manon playing the role of a victim or being the poorly treated black girl in the group, as some might assume. It's actually quite the opposite, and that actually leads us to the real question here. Why does HYBE continue to play games with Manon's visibility? Okay, well, Manon is mixed, European and black. She is Swiss Italian and Ghanaian. That duality makes her highly globally digestible. She stands at a crossroads with her Swiss Italian roots, granting her an idealized white adjacency, a privilege many in her group do not have. At the same time, Manon is visibly black, and while the world celebrates Black culture, music, style, and creativity, it often strategically avoids placing Black individuals front and center. This reflects long-standing systemic biases and discomfort with Black visibility and power, celebrating Black contributions while still keeping a foot on Black representation in leadership, narratives, and influence. However, whether HYBE or the other members realize it or not, this complex dynamic draws focus onto her regardless, especially given she's been casted as the group's visual. I don't believe the label fully did their homework and checked their biases before making Manon the visual of the group. And as a biracial Black girl with a dual heritage, she benefits from privileges that come with navigating both worlds. Similar to women like Zendaya or Meghan Markle, she embodies a complex duality, visibly Black, yet also carrying a European adjacency that grants her certain societal advantages. And though this is a controversial thing to say out loud, it is still the unpopular truth that HYBE seems unsure how to showcase her without fully embracing and uplifting her Blackness, creating a confusing and controlling dynamic around her presence. Now, why is this a problem for the other girls? Well, when one member receives more attention due to perceived marketability or privilege, the others can feel overshadowed or undervalued despite their talent and hard work. This imbalance can breed resentment, damaging group cohesion and morale. Additionally, the label may allocate more resources to the favored member, leaving others with fewer chances to shine how they want, which I'll get into a little bit later. Ultimately, this shifts public perception of the group from a united team to a vehicle for one star, undermining the group's identity and long-term potential. Furthermore, this is what makes Manon an issue to HYBE. Manon's appeal isn't niche, it's mainstream. And to be clear, she didn't create this reality. It's just an unpopular truth about the quiet privileges some people have and others do not. The system just operates this way. It's been broken. As a society, we've had endless conversations about pretty privilege, colorism, and proximity to whiteness, but usually within the context of Black woman to Black woman. What we're seeing now is different. It's playing out on a global stage where a Black girl isn't just up against other Black girls. She's being compared to girls from entirely different cultural and racial backgrounds. Now, is it fair for the other girls in the group that all of this is happening? No. But does that make it okay to shrink Manon, to downplay her presence just to make things feel more balanced? No. However, what does HYBE do? They erase her through choreography, they limit her screen time, they leave her out of performances, they reduce her visibility. At this point, HYBE has backed themselves into a corner. You highlight Manon too much, given that she's the visual, and the spotlight feels unbalanced. Hide her, and the fans start asking questions. She still goes viral, she's still the topic. And that, my friends, only builds more resentment and frustration within the group, because no matter what, the conversation stays on Manon. So now what? Because I only see two things happening here. Option 1, she goes solo. Staying in the group will only continue to build internal tension, both among the girls and with the label. And to give you a glimpse of what I mean here, here's an interview the girls did playing a game called Truth or Serum. And they were asked, who always gets the best clothes? Let's take a look.
Oh. I feel like, okay.
It's kind of sensitive too.
Everything is really sensitive topic.
Okay, no one's gonna get offended.
Okay, everybody has. We were just
I think we
talking
need
about
another
this.
sip of the truth serum.
I feel like it's random. Like it's like.
Yeah, who always like, because we're styled all the time. So like,
Take another sip of that truth.
yeah, take a gulp.
No, I'm actually thinking. I'm thinking. I think Manon gets like the best clothes, and then sometimes I feel like I might get
Yeah.
That was the right answer.
I agree.
Okay, but I feel like it's like random. Like sometimes like Lara's like outfit will eat everybody's.
I think recently
it's been good.
Positivity.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but the silence was loud, okay? The facial expressions were even louder, and the comments that were made, you know, I don't like to overanalyze, but I do. And in the moment, I could tell, you know, Manon was uncomfortable, as well as some of the other girls. I saw Laura's face, and that delayed response felt like a clear sign that something has already been happening behind the scenes. It's less about what we see versus what they know, and I think they are directly aware of the favoritism, but maybe it's a reach, maybe it's not, but it's a real unpopular opinion. And just to throw in another one, if we're being honest about media and fan visibility, not talent, here's how I see the ranking of the group. Lower tier is Megan and Yunche, still building their presence but haven't yet made a standout impact. Mid tier is Laura and Sophia. They've had their moments and solid followings but haven't quite matched the influence of the top two, Manon and Daniela, who are easily the group's strongest in presence, fan engagement, and star power. Manon especially stands out as the most talked about member of the group, largely due to the ongoing controversy surrounding her, and HYBE placing her as the visual of the group. And I want to add here that we live in a world driven by visuals now. Talent often takes a back seat, and I'm not talking about KATSEYE here specifically, but we all know this, and it's been proven time and time again with artists like Ice Spice, no shade. Now imagine that powered with someone who's actually doing the work, who's actually talented. This is where HYBE should have checked their biases at the door, unless they were truly prepared to handle the complexities that come with spotlighting someone like Manon. And then there's option 2. The label accepts the reality and the inevitable. They stop resisting and they fully embrace Manon, let her naturally become what she's clearly meant to be for the group, let her shine. If you keep sidelining her, fans will only grow more vocal and loyal to Manon, while resentment within the group increases. Again, this fuels tension within the group, pushing Manon to either stay quiet or shrink herself because it feels like everything she does causes a problem. Or keep erasing her from the group. Keep making her less and less visible. Not only are fans going to get louder, but you're going to risk losing a massive portion of the fan base. And while Manon gets a fresh start because she might eventually leave the group, it'll likely overshadow the group even more if she becomes a solo act, if she decides to go that route. So either way, given their current approach, HYBE is facing a lose-lose situation. And at the end of the day, I hope Manon doesn't internalize any of this. She's at the center of a quiet controversy, to be honest. Not a lot of people talk about this, but it isn't anything of her own making. HYBE is responsible for these problematic dynamics they have put her in. They scouted her, they trained her, made her a star, and now they seem to be trying to contain her growing power. Whether this controversy is intentional for marketing, money, or group visibility, it's still at the expense of someone they built up. Now she's left to navigate the fallout of Hybe's unprepared planning, the quiet biases of the system, and the politics of prettiness, profit, and positioning, all while working alongside her peers every day. And to their credit, all 6 members of KATSEYE, Yunche, Sophia, Daniela, Laura, Megan, Manon, have all shown major growth since their start at the Dream Academy, each carving out their own identity while contributing to the group's evolving dynamic. From training to debut to gnarly, they've each earned their place and deserve the space to shine equally, without the label fearing that one member might rise too far ahead. But the truth is, everybody, can you hear me? You can't contain what's meant to shine. You can only dim a light for so long before it erupts or breaks free in a way no one can control, and it becomes more powerful than the program itself. Okay? So let Manon do her thing, because it's going to happen with or without the label. This isn't about one girl in a group, it's a mirror to the industry, to the fans, to the standards we uphold around beauty, value, and visibility. The real question is here, are we truly ready to let someone different lead? To see a Black girl be fully embraced as the visual, not halfway, not cautiously, not sometimes, but all the time without limits. And I truly hope Manon, she's building relationships outside the group too, because unless Hybe gets it together, things are only going to get more complicated. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning into the Conscious Bae channel. Like, subscribe, and comment if you have something to add. And if you are an icon and you're here for the first time, welcome. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Peace and love.